Hey Cowboys Nation, welcome to your ultimate destination for all things Dallas Cowboys. From the latest news, game analyses, rumors, to deep dives into player performances and strategies, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a play. Let's dive into everything you need to know about America's team. The rumor mill has been spinning nonstop, and now the story gains even more heat after MARR Chase himself reportedly broke his silence in a way that sent shockwaves through the league. According to whispers circulating behind the scenes, Chase made it very clear that there was a defining reason he never seriously considered joining Dallas, and it had little to do with lifestyle or market size. Insiders suggest that what truly pushed him away was a combination of instability at the top and a financial proposal that simply did not match his expectations or his perceived value. The narrative emerging paints a picture of a franchise struggling to align its ambitions with its internal reality, especially when it comes to handling elite talent. Chase, known not just for his explosive playmaking, but also for his sharp awareness of the business side of football, reportedly evaluated the situation carefully before making his stance clear. Sources close to the situation claim that his comments were not emotional or impulsive, but calculated and revealing, hinting at deeper issues within the organization that go beyond what fans typically see on the surface. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the alleged tension brewing between the front office and the coaching staff, something that Chase himself may have picked up on during informal conversations and back-channel discussions. Reports suggest that there has been a growing disconnect regarding the team's direction, particularly in how offensive weapons are utilized and developed. For a player like Chase, who thrives in a system that maximizes creativity and vertical threat potential, any sign of misalignment would be a major red flag. The speculation intensifies when insiders mention that he questioned how he would fit into a scheme that has been criticized for lacking adaptability. It is said that during preliminary talks, there were moments where clarity was missing, and that uncertainty left a lasting impression. Rather than seeing a clear vision, Chase reportedly saw hesitation and conflicting ideas, which only reinforced his decision to stay away. In a league where timing and trust are everything, even the slightest doubt can change the course of a potential partnership. Another layer to this unfolding narrative involves the financial aspect, which many believe played a decisive role in Chase's stance. According to leaks from individuals familiar with the discussions, the offer presented did not reflect the market reality for a receiver of his caliber. Chase, who has consistently demonstrated top-tier production and game-changing ability, is believed to have expected a proposal that recognized not just his current output, but also his long-term impact. Instead, what allegedly came to the table was seen as conservative, possibly influenced by internal budget concerns or differing evaluations within the organization. This perceived undervaluation did not sit well with Chase or his camp, who reportedly viewed it as a sign that the franchise was not fully committed to building around elite talent. In a competitive environment where players are increasingly aware of their worth, such missteps can quickly turn into missed opportunities, and this situation appears to be a prime example of that dynamic unfolding in real time. As the story continues to develop, attention has also shifted toward the internal dynamics within Dallas, particularly the growing scrutiny surrounding the coaching situation. Rumors suggest that there has been mounting pressure on the current leadership, with questions being raised about accountability and long-term planning. Chase's alleged comments seem to echo concerns that have been quietly circulating among players and analysts alike. The idea that a high-profile talent would openly acknowledge these issues adds fuel to the fire and raises questions about how widespread these perceptions might be. It is not just about one player declining an opportunity. It is about what that decision reveals regarding the organization's reputation across the league. When players begin to factor in off-field stability as heavily as on-field performance, it signals a shift in how decisions are being made, and that shift could have lasting implications for how the team approaches future negotiations. Meanwhile, fans and commentators are left trying to piece together what this all means for the bigger picture. Some believe that Chase's stance could serve as a wake-up call, forcing the organization to reevaluate its approach both financially and structurally. Others see it as a missed chance that reflects deeper systemic issues that cannot be fixed overnight. The speculation has only grown louder as more voices weigh in, each adding their own interpretation of what went wrong and what could have been done differently. What remains clear is that this is not a simple case of a player choosing one team over another. It is a multifaceted situation that highlights the complexities of modern football negotiations. From contract structures to coaching philosophies, every detail matters. And in this case, those details appear to have collectively pushed Chase away from what could have been a blockbuster move. As we transition into the broader implications of this unfolding rumor, it becomes evident that Chase's reported comments may have a ripple effect beyond just one franchise. Players around the league are paying attention, observing how situations like this are handled and what they reveal about organizational priorities. The idea that a top-tier receiver would publicly question both financial and structural elements sends a powerful message, one that could influence future negotiations across the board. It also raises the stakes for teams aiming to attract elite talent, as they must now demonstrate not only competitive offers, but also stability and clarity in their vision. In this environment, perception can be just as important as reality, and the perception surrounding Dallas, at least for now, appears to be under intense scrutiny. Whether these rumors hold every detail true or not, their impact is already being felt, shaping narratives and potentially altering the trajectory of decisions yet to come. Digging deeper into the speculation, there is a growing belief that Chase's remarks were not just a reflection of one negotiation, but rather an indirect critique of a broader pattern within the organization. Sources hint that this was not the first time concerns were raised about how elite players are valued and integrated into the team's long-term strategy. The narrative forming behind closed doors suggests that there may be a recurring hesitation when it comes to committing fully to top-tier talent, especially when it requires significant financial investment. For a player like Chase, who represents both immediate impact and future potential, any sign of reluctance could easily be interpreted as a lack of ambition. This perception, whether entirely accurate or not, becomes a powerful factor in decision-making. In a league where reputation spreads quickly, even subtle doubts can grow into defining narratives, and that appears to be exactly what is happening here. At the same time, the coaching situation continues to be a focal point of discussion, with rumors indicating that internal disagreements may have influenced how the entire scenario unfolded. It is said that there have been differing opinions regarding offensive identity and player utilization, which may have complicated conversations with potential additions like Chase. For a receiver who thrives on precision, timing, and creative play design, the idea of stepping into an uncertain system could be a major deterrent. Insiders claim that Chase and his representatives were keenly aware of these dynamics, analyzing not just the roster, but the philosophy behind it. When those elements fail to align, it creates hesitation, and in this case, that hesitation appears to have been enough to shift the outcome entirely. The situation underscores how critical it is for organizations to present a unified vision, especially when engaging with players who have the ability to transform an offense. There is also an emotional dimension to this story that cannot be ignored, even if it remains largely speculative. While Chase is known for his composed demeanor, those close to him suggest that respect and recognition play a significant role in his decisions. The idea that an offer might fall short is not just about numbers. It is about what those numbers represent. In this context, the rumored proposal from Dallas may have been interpreted as a signal that the organization did not fully grasp his value or his expectations. That perception, whether intentional or not, can create a disconnect that is difficult to repair. Once a player begins to question how they are viewed within a potential team, the foundation of trust begins to erode, and without that trust, even the most promising opportunities can quickly lose their appeal. As the conversation continues to evolve, analysts are beginning to explore what this means for Dallas moving forward. The franchise now faces the challenge of addressing not only the immediate fallout from these rumors, but also the underlying concerns that have been brought to light. There is a sense that this moment could serve as a turning point, prompting introspection and potential in how decisions are made at the highest level. Whether that leads to tangible changes remains to be seen, but the pressure is undoubtedly mounting. In a league where competition is relentless and margins are thin, even small miscalculations can have significant consequences, and this situation appears to be a clear example of how quickly things can shift. On the other side of the equation, Chase's position seems to reinforce his image as a player who is fully in control of his career trajectory. By reportedly speaking out, even in a subtle or indirect manner, he sends a message that he is not willing to compromise on key factors that define his success. This stance not only strengthens his personal brand, but also sets a precedent for other players who may find themselves in similar situations. It highlights a growing trend in the league, where athletes are increasingly assertive in shaping their own paths, prioritizing fit and respect alongside financial considerations. In this sense, the story goes beyond one decision and becomes part of a larger narrative about player empowerment and the evolving dynamics of professional football. Ultimately, the speculation surrounding Ja'Marr Chase and his decision not to pursue a move to Dallas serves as a fascinating case study in how modern negotiations unfold. It is a story shaped by multiple layers, from financial expectations to organizational stability and personal values. While the full truth may never be entirely known, the rumors themselves have already created a powerful narrative that continues to captivate fans and analysts alike. As more details emerge and perspectives shift, one thing remains certain. Situations like this are never just about a single moment or a single choice. They are reflections of broader trends and deeper realities, offering a glimpse into the complex world behind the headlines, where every decision carries weight and every perception can shape the future. As the ripple effects of this situation continue to spread, there is a growing sense that what Ja'Marr Chase reportedly revealed might only be scratching the surface of a much larger issue, the organization. Behind the scenes, whispers suggest that multiple players around the league have quietly shared similar concerns about how Dallas approaches negotiations and long-term planning. This is not something that explodes overnight, but rather a perception that builds gradually through conversations, agent discussions, and informal locker room exchanges. Chase's alleged stance simply brought those concerns into the spotlight in a way that cannot be ignored anymore. It is being speculated that the franchise's internal strategy may be too rigid for today's evolving NFL landscape, where adaptability and aggressive investment in top talent are often the difference between contention and mediocrity. When a player of Chase's caliber indirectly questions that structure, it resonates far beyond a single negotiation, potentially influencing how other stars evaluate their options when Dallas enters the picture in future scenarios. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. At the same time, there is an increasing focus on how the front office communicates its vision, or perhaps fails to do so clearly. Sources indicate that during preliminary interactions, there may have been inconsistencies in how the team presented its plans, especially regarding offensive identity and quarterback synergy. For a wide receiver who thrives on timing, chemistry, and explosive opportunities, clarity in those areas is essential. The speculation suggests that Chase and his camp were left with more questions than answers, particularly about how he would be utilized in high-pressure situations. This uncertainty may have been interpreted as a lack of cohesion between decision-makers, reinforcing the idea that the organization is not fully aligned internally. In a league where elite players meticulously analyze every detail before making career decisions, even minor gaps in communication can create hesitation. In this case, those gaps appear to have played a significant role in shaping the narrative that ultimately kept Chase from seriously considering the move. Another angle gaining traction is the possibility that the financial proposal was not just below expectations, but strategically structured in a way that raised concerns about long-term commitment. Rumors suggest that the deal may have included elements that limited flexibility or did not fully guarantee security, something that top-tier players are increasingly prioritizing. Chase, known for understanding his market value and leverage, would naturally scrutinize every clause, every incentive, and every projection tied to his performance. According to insiders, the offer may have been perceived as cautious rather than confident, a tone that can send the wrong message during high-stakes negotiations. When a team appears hesitant to fully invest, it can create doubt about its willingness to build around that player in the years to come. This interpretation, whether entirely accurate or not, adds another layer to the speculation, suggesting that the breakdown in talks was not just about numbers, but about philosophy and intent. Meanwhile, the spotlight intensifies on the coaching situation, which continues to be described as unstable by those familiar with the internal environment. There are growing rumors that disagreements over play calling, player roles, and overall offensive direction have created a sense of unpredictability within the organization. For a player like Chase, who relies on precision and consistency to maximize his impact, stepping into such an environment could be seen as a significant risk. It is being speculated that during his evaluation process, he may have compared Dallas's structure with other teams that offer a more defined and proven system. In doing so, the contrast may have become impossible to ignore. Stability is often an underrated factor in these decisions, but when it is absent, it becomes glaringly obvious. Chase's reported comments seem to reflect that awareness, highlighting how critical it is for franchises to present not just talent, but a clear and stable framework for success. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.